Hello everybody, welcome to round one of the Australian Super Truck Racing Series here at Mallala Motorsport Park in South Australia. I'm Dan McCarthy. We're set for an absolutely thrilling day of action here, just around an hour north of Adelaide. Huge crowd here at the Mallala Motorsport Park for the racing action, headlined by these trucks. Let's listen to our champion, our reigning champion, Steven Zammit, what he had to say ahead of the weekend.
Super truck racing is basically big cumbersome trucks that go around the circuit really fast like go-karts. So they're a lot of fun, a lot of horsepower, a lot of brake stopping, and yeah, they're fun to drive. Anyone's capable to do what we do. Just takes a matter of just coming down and asking some of the teams and getting a bit of a start somewhere and maybe go for a ride in one and see if you're actually going to like it. So yeah. So my old man, Charlie Zammit, he's been around a long time. He started truck racing in 88, I think, 88, 89, and with an old W model Kenworth that they had on the road, and tricked it up. And after their first race meeting of that, they decided to build a race truck. Then they built 2 race trucks, and then we finally ended up with truck number 40. And since 91, it's been in our family and all the boys, and we've all contributed over the years and raced all over Australia, all over New Zealand. And here we are today back at Mallala, where I actually started racing. So it's pretty unique for me. 16 years since we've been here, so it's quite a good comeback. We started off yesterday on a really good spot. We had a shootout which has been brought back into our category. Made a little mistake and started P2 behind Dale Cornfoot, which put a really good job on yesterday. And yesterday we got the jump on him at the start and never looked back. So he had some issues with his differential, and yeah, we come home with a win, and we'll start off from pole again this morning. So the quality here that we've got this weekend, a lot of the teams have brought up their image. They've brought a lot of extra speed to the track. Dale's only his second race meeting in that yellow truck, and mate, he's right on the money. So I'm looking forward to having a bit of competition with him. I know he's done a lot of go-karting, and he's a true racer. And yeah, like we're all friends in here, but out there, I don't care. They're all trucks. I'll pass anything, every single one of them if I can. So yeah, if you ain't first, you're last. That's the mindset we go with. So we're quite competitive here with the team. We don't stop working. You can see the boys are probably working on something at the back there without me knowing, and keeping on top of it. But yeah, we go out there, mate. We try and drive cleanly, put the elbows out when we need to, put a show on for the crowd. We've got a massive crowd here today in Mallala Raceway, and yeah, we'll put on a good show. And as long as everyone goes home safe, and hopefully we can come home with a bit of a lead in the championship. So that's what our goal is, to try and tie up another one. I'm a 7-time Australian champion, 2-time New Zealand champion. This year I'm going for number 10 in total, so catch me if you can.
That is what they will all hope to do, including Dale Cornfoot. As Stephen said, he was the pole sitter on Saturday, and here he is to take us for a lap of the Mallala Motorsport Park circuit. Down in towards turn number 1. It's quite a fast corner. You can use a bit of the curb if you're a brave man or lady behind the wheel. Then it's a fast flick back to the tight hairpin, turn number 2. Got to get on the power as early as possible to try and set up a potential overtaking opportunity. Down towards turn number 3, another tight hairpin. There is definitely room for a move up the inside if you are able to get up there. Again, important run out of here. This is the longest straight, in inverted commas, on this racetrack. There's a big kink in the middle, this right-hander just here. And again, you want to try and keep up the minimum corner speed to try and throw it down the inside for a move at the hairpin at the end of the back straight. This is certainly the favourite overtaking opportunity, as Saturday's action showed. We'll see some side-by-side racing through here, I'm sure, throughout the weekend as they exit, trying to get on the power. The truck's twitching as they accelerate through the long left-hander and down into another hairpin. The right-hander down here at the end of this straight. And then this is quite a technical end to the lap. A hairpin here, a flip back to the left, 90-degree left, and then 90-degree right to end the lap. Might be 2 90-degree corners, but it's certainly a tricky way to end things in such a big super truck. Earlier on in the weekend, several of our drivers had a chat about their Saturday, and this is what they had to say, starting with Frank Amoroso.
Oh, not much, mate. We played with the truck a bit last year, and I think we've got it a bit better up the field, so we've still got a bit of work to do. She needs a bit of a Jenny Craig diet still, actually, so... Oh, well, just another bonnet repair. We just used a heap of cable ties and race tape, and we've got it sort of half reasonable, but I'd rather have a nice clean bonnet, but unfortunately it isn't. And then to top it off, the second race, we actually broke the shaft and the gearbox, so it was a big late night last night, half past 11 before we put the other gearbox in it. But we've got it going right for today, so she's all good. We've had it out in warm-up, the box is all working right, and I'm okay, so we'll be pretty right today, I think.
We started probably about 5 years ago. We were co-driving for Tringali Racing, and then I've now brought this truck from Rob Waters in WA. And yeah, we've only done one race last year, and yeah, we're going all right this year so far. So it's a C13 Caterpillar, and it's got a World Series Allison automatic in it. Just normal Dana diffs. Yeah, it's just a pretty cool truck. So race one, we started off all right. We ended up back in second position by turn 2. And then by the 4th lap, we come around turn 2 again, and yeah, it snapped an axle, blew the center of the diff up, and we just rolled to a stop. Yeah, the qualifying system in the shootout, I really liked it. We qualified second, and then in the shootout we were in pole position for that. As soon as that green flag goes down, she's racing. Look out, Zammit, we're coming.
Certainly looking forward to the day's action after what turned out to be a difficult Saturday for Dale Cornfoot. Great to have him as part of the series as we have a look at the grid for race number 2, the first race here on Sunday at Mallala. Steven Zammit, the reigning champ, will start on pole position alongside the very experienced Frank Amoroso. Shannon Smith, a former champion, will come out of third alongside Robert Fern, and a huge field of trucks. 10 in total as they come around the final couple of corners. We are set for a start here at Mallala Motorsport Park. First time here in 16 years, and we are underway. The blast down towards turn number 1. Good start from Frank Amoroso. Oh, a bit of a twitch as he turns into turn number 1. But Frank Amoroso, the veteran, has made his way through on the reigning champion. Shannon Smith trying to go around the outside as well of Zammit. Oh, it's tight there, but he just runs out of room. Zammit closing the door, firmly shut down on the exit of turn number 2. Behind that, Robert Fern remains in 4th position, ahead of Mark Noonan, and then first of the lightweight trucks as they come out of turn number 3. As we say, this is a great overtaking opportunity down here through the right-hand kink and into the next hairpin. Zammit trying to line up a move, going around the outside. It's a risky one, could get hung out to dry as we go down into the hairpin. Amoroso deep under brakes, and Zammit blocking off any potential move from Shannon Smith, and there's a bit of contact down there at the hairpin. Amoroso gets all sorts of sideways. Oh, that's affected his run out of the corner, and through comes Zammit with ease. Great pass from the reigning champion, the 7-time champion. Down into the next hairpin, turn number 7 on this circuit. Smith now up the inside of Amoroso. He's been beaten around on this opening lap after initially taking the race lead very nicely at the start of this race, but certainly having to fight for it now as they come across the line to complete the opening lap. Then we see 4th and 5th remain the same as well. Oh, up the inside, Smith having a good look there, but couldn't quite make it through. There they are, top 5 pretty close together. Then it's the lightweight truck, the 231 of Lachlan Prilwitz. He is at the head of the lightweight brigade as they head into turn number 3. Amoroso having to go defensive on Smith, right on board with the veteran. Oh, huge tank slapper there, just getting the left rear wheel in the dirt there, Shannon Smith. That'll affect his run all the way down this long back straight, but he's made up a bit of time around the long right-hander. Many motor racing categories in the cars can take that flat, not in the trucks, as you saw. A big application of brake through the fast corner, and again Amoroso forced to defend down on at the end of the back straight. Great to have the trucks here at Mallala Motorsport Park. As you can see, the crowd is huge this weekend. Everyone in the park and view all the way around the venue, trying to get the best vantage point of these trucks. It's been 16 years since they last raced here. The South Australian fans clearly happy to see them back. Already 2 laps in the book. Oh, huge slide. Good save from the 2019 champion. But with that mistake, he has lost a lot of ground on Frank Amoroso. He's darted down the road now. That's cost him at least a couple of seconds. As we look at the fight for 4th position, it's intensifying between 2 consistent runners, Robert Fern and Mark Noonan. They are always there or thereabouts. Noonan using all the road on the exit of the 2nd corner and down towards the turn 3 hairpin, which is where the pit lane joins the circuit. Nice wide apex and a late apex for Noonan on the exit. Oh, huge moment again. This time it's Robert Fern. So look for Noonan to have a look here. Surely not around the fast right-hander. Yes, he's been given the room. Slots it up the inside. Good heads-up driving there by Robert Fern. He saw Noonan coming, left him room, and through goes the Fuel Doctor entry, or does he? Gets it all crossed up as he hits the apex of the corner. And Robert Fern now with the retaliation around the outside on the left-handed king, but no room for 2 trucks wide around there. So has to slot back in behind once again. What good action we've already seen. We're only 3 laps in to the 2025 season. Got to thank our sponsors, including Hi-Tec Oils, for allowing the trucks to go racing. Of course, as well, Fix My Truck, SAF, Holland, and Big Wheels. Without them, the trucks could not go racing. They tip it into turn number 1 since the trucks were last here 16 years ago. There's been a few changes to Mallala track. You can see the blue patches just outside of the curbing, so it's a little bit more runoff area, but still an old school track. Lots of grass and lots of gravel traps to catch everybody out. Just behind Robert Fern, we can see that Prewitz has made his way up into 6th position. That's Marcus Prewitz behind the wheel of the Mack Superliner, the only Mack truck driver in the field this weekend. And he's moved past the lightweight trucks and now into 6th position. We ride on board with Robert Fern in the MLC racing truck. He's driving a Volvo. Lots of brands in this championship represented: Mack, Kenworth, Volvo, Scania, Isuzu. So there really is great variety, as there always has been in the Australian Super Truck Series. And it's great to see this category having a bit of a resurgence. Later on in the year, they're going to go to Morgan Park for the very first time. That's round number 3 in September, but before that, they will visit Winton Motor Raceway. Out in front, Zammit is continuing to extend his margin over his fellow veteran, Frank Amoroso. Shannon Smith, after the moment at the final corner several laps ago, is coming back into play a little bit here. He's certainly closing in on Amoroso, but with 2 laps to go, is it a little bit too little, too late? Well, we will find out here with just under 2 laps remaining. Great onboard footage down in towards turn number 3. Yeah, you can visibly see how much he is closing. Getting a little bit overcast here. It's a glorious sunny day yesterday, but certainly conditions clouding over here at Mallala on this Sunday morning. Here is our race leader, truck number 1. Once again, oh, here is Smith. Amoroso running a little bit wide Oh, but Smith didn't get the exit he would have wanted, and just like it looked like it was on, all that hard work has come undone with one small little error. Look at Amoroso bolted down the road as a result of that, but Amoroso himself there was closing up a little bit on the reigning champion. So with just over a lap to go, just over 2 kilometres of racing action, this might not be all said and done just yet. Here, through they come. We're at the tight, twisty section of the circuit, and we begin the final lap of the race. Yeah, very technical section, and to start the lap as well, the right-hander and then into the hairpin left. Certainly difficult challenge for these big trucks. Of course, all of them in the big heavyweight division produce well over 1,000 horsepower with their 14, some of them even 15-litre engines as they roar down the back straight into turn number 3 on the final lap of this 6-lap short sprint race. Look at that, Smith is closing in once again. But out in front, Amoroso now has built back a margin. Has to go defensive though, down into the hairpin. I thought he was looking a little bit comfortable there, but no, forced to defend and just runs 2 wheels through over the curb, and same for Smith behind. Kicks up gravel, and again, that's going to cost him crucial momentum. Look back to the man in 5th position, Robert Fern, into the turn number 5 hairpin, and back on the power once again. Amoroso forced to defend once more, just slightly on Smith to defend off any late race attack. But out in front, the reigning champion, well, he has done it once again, hasn't he? He kicks off season 2025 with a race victory here at Mallala Motorsport Park. 16 years after he won the last round here, he starts round 1 with a victory. He takes a win from Frank Amoroso. Shannon Smith in position number 3 ahead of Mark Noonan and Robert Fern. Marcus Pruitts moves up to 6th ahead of Lachlan Fern in 7th. Ty Oxley in 8th. And unfortunately, Dale Cornfoot a non-finisher there. We'll be back after this break with more Super Truck action from Mallala. Welcome back to Mallala. So good to have trucks back here. Let's listen to what the president has to say about returning to Mallala.
We're obviously here at Mallala, the first time in 16 years, I believe it is. Everybody's stoked. The drivers, the teams, you know, the owners. Yeah, we're going in leaps and bounds. Everything's positive. We've got some good sponsors on board. Hi-Tec Oils again. We've got Saf Holland, who's come on as a major sponsor. We've got Big Wheels truck alignments, and as well as a number of smaller sponsors. But we can't do it without them. Already we've secured a few other raceways to race at. Another one is Morgan Park, where we're first time that the trucks have ever been there, which is in Warwick in Queensland. We've gone back to a national series from a series where we've just raced Winton Motor Raceway. We're travelling the country again and yeah, getting it out there for all the fans to have a look at. So yeah, in 2026 will be bigger and better.
I've been around it a little while. My dad started back in 1989, and this is actually Dad's truck that we found through Pittman Trucks in 2014. We brought it home, thought we could have a go of it, and this is the end result. In the off season, we've made some modifications to the back end and the suspension geometry. We're still learning that. We've also had a bit of a swap around with some sponsors, so Fuel Doctor has come on as the naming right sponsor this year, hence the new look and the new wrap. It's creating a lot of interest, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. The new wrap was all designed by Steve, the owner, Steve Marriott, the owner of Fuel Doctor. Mate, he's a pretty clever fella. He doesn't show it, but when he puts his head down, he knows what to do, that's for sure. And I think particularly the character on the back of the truck is really unique, and I think it's terrific. It's the quality and quantity is always there. the boys at the front end, they're always sharp. These big trucks, they don't muck around. They're on their game, you know, and we've got to be on our game to have a crack too.
Race 3 starting grid. A inverted grid race based on the results of the last one. So Lachlan Purewitz out of first alongside Ty Oxley, Lachlan Fern, Marcus Pruitt, Robert Fern, Mark Noonan, and then the big names Smith, Amoroso and Zammit. Unfortunately, Cornfoot a non-starter in this one. As we go racing, they head towards turn number 1. Look at the little lightweight trucks already blocking the way for Pruitt, trying to find a way through. But Ty Oxley in the blue machine, first time competing in the lightweight division, has taken up the running, and Pruitt is following him through. Look at that move around the outside, going the long way of not one but 2 lightweight trucks. He's got the horsepower as well. Down towards turn number 3, he should be able to make this move with relative ease, and does so. He's made a good breakaway. None of the other heavyweights have made their way past any of the lightweight trucks. This is a good advantage for Pruitt early doors in this 6-lap affair on lunch here at Mallala Motorsport Park. Here we go. They're making their way through now. Left, right. Which way do you go? Around the smaller powered trucks. They've made their way past one, but there's a sandwich, a blockage in front of them. Oh, in a bit deep there, Ty Oxley. He's gone into the gravel trap, and I think he's got beached. He has. Oh no, what a shame. I was just saying what a great start it was for him in the lightweight truck, and unfortunately his race appears to have lasted just half a lap, stuck in the gravel trap at the end of the long back straight. What a shame. Shannon Smith in all that kerfuffle has made his way up to second, and a big hit there. That was Noonan and our reigning champion Zammit making significant contact there into the hairpin, and understandably the safety car has been called for the stationary Ty Oxley truck. What a shame. Not the way he would have wanted to start his race, as the tow truck heads out there onto the circuit. And we literally mean tow truck down there in the sand trap. Here's what happened. Simply in too late under brakes, and there was no stopping that. He went right around the outside of the 231 truck of Lachlan Pruitt, and he was not pulling that one up, unfortunately. Great to see the gravel trap doing its job, a very deep gravel trap here at Mallala Motorsport Park. So fortunately though, no damage. He will be out later on in the day. Alright, we are set for a restart. Pruitt leads the way, Smith in second, and still the lightweight truck of Lachlan Pruitt in third position. Tight between those two. Here we are for the lead. Oh, a bit of contact around turn number 1. Pruitt went defensive down into that first corner, and Smith just misjudging it there, touching the tail of him. You don't see that too often around turn number 1 anyway. Lucky to both get away with that one. Zammit's got through on Noonan, and Amoroso looking to do the same. Here we are, Pruitt's at the front, the Mack truck going defensive on the big Kenworth. Onto the back straight they go. Look at it. Oh, Noonan, good catch. Using all the road and more. Had to use all the right-hand side. Took 2 wheels over the side of the circuit and onto the grass, as we have a move for the lead. Smith briefly held the lead, but back up the inside comes Pruitt. In that lighter weight truck, he's just able to brake that bit later, but that's an unforced error on the exit of the corner. As quickly as he reclaimed it, he has lost it once again. Through goes Shannon Smith, the 2019 Australian Truck Series champion, takes up the running at the front of the field. Oh, bit of a lock-up there. And here's a replay of what happened. So Smith had the lead for about 15-20 metres. Pruitt sent it back up the inside, but ran in a bit too deep. 2 wheels over the dirt on the outside and back through. With the crisscross came Shannon Smith. A very nice pass there on the exit of the corner. That's experience paying dividends down there. Still, 2-3-1. Lachlan Prewitz remains in position number 3. But for how long? The answer, not very long at all. That's the power coming into effect for Zammit up the inside. Nothing the 213 machine can do. The Isuzu no match for the reigning champion. And here as well, Robert Fern trying to take a position off him as well as they head onto the back section of the course, the middle sector, the fast middle sector here at Mallala. Here is Robert Fern on the exit of the corner. He's got that one already sewn up, but look at the vision. I was just mentioning it last lap. Certain times, depending on the wind, the smoke haze across the circuit means vision is very, very challenging, particularly on the opening lap when they are all gaggled together. Here comes Frank Amoroso up the inside. Oh, a late close of the door there. Good racing from both them. Hard but clean racing in the trucks there between Robert Fern and Frank Amoroso. The pair millimetres away from making contact, but they survive. They get away with it. And they continue around the back section of the circuit. The fast left-hander as they're trying to put the power down on the exit of the corner. Out in front, Shannon Smith has pulled out a nice, comfortable margin. A good couple of seconds with just one lap remaining. A little bit truncated with that safety car, but nevertheless, it's still been an entertaining affair. As we look back from Robert Fern, can he hold back both Amoroso and Noonan in the closing stages of this one? Final lap. Oh, another tank slapper there from Amoroso. He's pushing the limits. He's trying to make his way through. Amoroso last year finished the season so very strongly, nearly took the title at the final round away from Zammit, but he came agonisingly short in the end. Zammit taking that record 7th title. Look at him again, Amoroso using all the road, and this could allow Noonan to vie into the battle. Down into the hairpin. Look at that, using all the road. Dust being blown up just with these heavy machines. The wind that comes off them flicking up the dust. It's been the driest Adelaide summer on record, or dry start to the year I should say, on record, and you can see that here at Mallala Motorsport Park today. Out in front though, Shannon Smith just has a couple of corners to go in his Kenworth. It's been a great drive from him. He had a bit of a gap to hunt down. Prewitz had bolted out in front, but he hunted him down and made the move, made it stick, and takes race number 4, sorry, race 3 of the Super Trucks here at Mallala Motorsport Park. Across the line they come, the rest of the field coming through. And in the end, it was Fern that was able to hold off Amoroso and Noonan, with Lachlan Prewitz winning the lightweight division there in 2-3-1. Crowd continuing to remain here at Mallala. Here's the results. Smith from Zammit, Fern, Amoroso, Noonan, Lachlan Fern winning the lightweight class, but notably Marcus Prewitz down in 7th. Yes, he did cross the line in 2nd. So why has he been demoted? Well, we'll find out, because he's down there in the lane.
Marcus, so it's sort of the safety car came out, they dropped the green flag, yeah, the first corner we were into it, and you know, it was the third turn, we sort of managed to get around him and outpowered him, and we're sort of side by side of the back there with it, bit of a kink. He's sort of both sitting on 160, and it was a little bit tight there, but we yeah, coming through it, and that was it. Sort of had Frank beside me and Zammit behind me, and yeah, it worked out well at sort of the first lap. I managed to get around a few there and stay out in front, and the pace car came out, and yeah, Marcus was in front, so we got around him. It worked out really well.
We're just doing a bit of maintenance here, but we've found the right front. It's not actually working how it should, so we're trying to stop it on 3 brakes out there. So we went about 3 laps that were actually green, and we were starting to go to the floor. So we when we pulled it in, we're doing our normal maintenance, but we found a bit of an issue here, but we're on top of it. We're going to have a look. I'm pretty happy that we've come from 9th up to 3rd, you know, with the laps that we had. We made some good ground. yeah, we'll just keep battling on, mate. It's all about the result at the end of the year for me, so yeah.
Big news, unfortunately, folks, is I oversped. So I hit 162. I got a GPS speedo, and it's not necessarily momentarily accurate. So it's recorded 162, so I'll get a minute penalty. So I'm probably at the back of the field. When Shannon got around me, I looked in my mirrors and saw Steve. I thought, oh, here we go. I'm going to be busy. But I don't know if he. I'd like to think I was going fast enough that he had trouble catching me, but he might have actually had a mechanical issue. My truck doesn't normally get hot, but this is the first time we've hit this track, and it's struggling with heat. So it'll be interesting to see whether it actually can do the 10 laps without, destroying itself.
Yeah, very interesting there. The reason for the disqualification. He'll be very, very disappointed with that. On the other side of this, we have the final 10-lap feature race from here at Mallala Motorsport Park. Make sure you catch us then on the other side of this. Welcome back to Mallala. We are set for the final race of the weekend. Race number 4 for the Super Trucks. Set to be an absolute cracker. Once again, we are reversing the grid. So Lachlan Prilwitz will start from pole position alongside Marcus Prilwitz. Behind them, Lachlan Fern, Mark Noonan, Robert Fern, Shannon Smith, Frank Amoroso, Zammit. Cornfoot is back out there, and so as well is Ty Oxley. So we've got the full 10, and we are green flag to start the final race of the weekend. Great start from the little lightweight truck, the smaller of the Prilwitzes, down in towards turn 1. Noonan gets alongside though, around the outside for turn 2. Is he going to be able to hold that one? We'll have to wait and see on the exit of the corner. But as we saw in race 1, despite not getting the greatest of starts, it is Marcus Prilwitz that leads the way. He's made it pay while the sun has shined and got to the front of the field. Look behind, the reigning champ up the inside of Amoroso. Couldn't quite make it stick, but he has got past a couple of the lightweight trucks. So that is good news for truck number 1, the big Kenworth, as he heads down the back straight. We're on board with Dale Cornfoot as they swing it through the fast right-hander, thanks to our Hi-Tec Oils drone cam on the run towards the turn number 5. Hairpin Prilwitz leading the way, Noonan in second, Shannon Smith in third. 4th place for Zammit, ahead of Amoroso, and the returning Cornfoot going around the outside of Amoroso there on the exit of the corner. That's a brave move. It looks like he's made it stick. That's in front, the number 31, the Mack truck leads the way. Here is Cornfoot now, up the inside into the right-handed hairpin. He's got the better track position. Has he made the move, or is there still a truck there for the left-hander? No, he's made it stick. Great pass from him up into position number 5. Remember, this is just his second round after debuting at Winter Raceway at the final round last season. So it's been a fantastic start. Okay, he's had a couple of DNFs here and there, but the pace is there, which is great to see. We are right on board with him in the BDK Earth moving machine. Down towards the hairpin Prilwitz. Feeling he has to go slightly defensive on the Scania of Noonan. Here we are, Cornfoot. Look at him, he's catching up to Zammit. Zammit, of course, won the last round here back in 2009, 16 years ago. And he returns and he's doing well this weekend, but here we are for the lead. Noonan all the way around the outside. He can't make that one work. Once again, we saw it in the race earlier on today. The 31 responds under brakes. It's that bit smaller, that bit lighter. It means he can be deeper under brakes. Noonan, though, is not going to let that one lie. He's going to attack immediately once again. This time up the inside, is he? No, thinks better of it. But while these two fight, defend, lock up, as we see, it's all costing them time, and it's allowing Smith to join the party. He's going for 2 straight victories after winning the previous one earlier on today. And Cornfoot on the tail of Zammit. Zammit not the fastest here in this final race. I thought he might have honed in on these top 3, but at the moment he's a little bit further behind. Noonan again having a faint little look, trying to force Prillwitz into an error, but Marcus Prillwitz is certainly wise to that one, or all the road being used there. A little bit of a flick of oversteer, but a good save from the fuel doctor down into the right-handed hairpin. There is the rest of the pack going through. We've still got all of the trucks running, which is great news. Here comes Noonan once again, this time the inside at the King, and he moves on through. Great pass. Can the 31 respond under brakes? He's seen how good he is. He switches to the inside and he's going for it. Awesome piece of truck control down through the gearbox, gets it stopped. Nicely done. Large majority of these trucks are sequential gearboxes, not the old school manual that you might expect. These are proper racing trucks. There's Noonan looking back again. This is a fantastic battle, a fantastic way to end proceedings here in South Australia. 10 laps, we have a lot longer. This final feature race, 6 for the other races, 10 for this one. And they are showing us a real classic here, as now Zammit and Cornfoot have joined the fight. It's now a 5-truck battle for the lead. Prillwitz, though, to this point has not put a foot wrong. He's lost the lead a couple of times, but he's immediately responded. Noonan, bit of a kick of oversteer midway through the turn there, and as a result, he runs it a little bit wide. That's going to leave him vulnerable now to Smith, so rather than looking ahead, finds himself looking behind, which is not what he wanted to do at all at this stage of the race, but he's executed that corner very, very nicely, and he, as a result, should be able to attack the Mack truck once again. Down the back side of the course and towards the northern end of the circuit into the north hairpin. What's Prillwitz going to do? The answer, run it right down the middle of the road, force Noonan to go either one way or the other, but Noonan elects not to, and in fact he locks up the rears. You could hear him chirping under brakes, and it's allowed Smith to vie in as they're side by side now on the exit of the turn. Who's going to yield here? Who's going to be the braver of the men down into the hairpin? Oh, Noonan, he's locked up the rears. He's looped it around. Is he going to hit anyone? No. Incredible. Great evasive action from absolutely everybody. That was a very, very hairy moment, but somehow I think we've got away relatively unscathed. A bruised ego for Noonan, but that's all. Other than that, we have got away panel damage free. Incredible. But great job from Noonan to get that thing stopped, as it looked like it was going to come back onto the middle of the race circuit, and great as well evasive action from those behind. Here's a replay. So Noonan in the Scania, just in too deep, locked the rears, went around, and look at Zammit and Cornfoot through the dust, through the debris, managing to make their way through. Oh, so close. Oh, Smith did actually drop it wide. I don't think there was contact, but he saw it coming and it stayed a little bit wide. Now he had his own moment. So both of them outbraking themselves. And wow, that could have ended a lot worse than it did. And how lucky Smith to still be in second position after that moment. Wow. Catch your breath after that. That was quite something. Cornfoot now in position number 4, but he's lost touch now with the top 3 as a result of that. That really did split the pack up, the leading pack anyway, as Dale is still on the tail. Sorry, Smith on the tail of Prillwitz down into the hairpin. Harvey Dale's the driver of this truck in the co-driver championship and did a fantastic job in the 2 races yesterday. But now at the moment it's Smith at the wheel of this truck. He's putting Prillwitz under maximum pressure. can he do? Where can he find a way through? Pruitt's is just too good under brakes at the moment, isn't he? Can't find a way through. The 2019 champion is doing everything he can, but it's not working at this stage of the motor race. Into turn number 1. Such big wheels on these big trucks. It's certainly, they are certainly big rigs in every sense of the word. We've got to thank Big Wheels as a sponsor of the Australian Super Truck Series. As we say, series, it is once again a national championship in season 2025, and it's going to get bigger and better from here. Great to see the resurgence of what is such a popular category in this country. Ty Oxley running a little bit slowly there on the inside of the circuit. He's clearly got some mechanical issues. That's a shame, but great heads-up driving from the lightweight truck driver, pulling over to the inside of the circuit. They're getting out of harm's way for what is looking like an intensifying lead battle once again. Zammit forced to go defensive, or he feels he needs to go defensive on Cornfoot. However, he himself catching up to the top 2 once again. This is fantastic motor racing. Zammit, the reigning champion, the 7-time champion, taking that record from the late Rodney Crick last year, who had 6 titles, the truck legend. Zammit now taking that record, 7 Australian truck titles. He won his first here the last time the trucks were at Mallala. He's certainly enjoying being back here. It's where he started his career all those years ago as well. So great to have Zammit back here at Mallala. He's thoroughly enjoying himself, as are all of the newcomers to this track as well, including Dale Cornfoot, who, let's not forget, came from the very back of the field, and he's right back in this fight now, up the front of the field. Around the outside for Smith, not able to make it stick there. Cornfoot also a similar looking move on this lap number 6 of the race, so just over the halfway stage of proceedings. Or look further ahead, side by side for the race lead as they go through the right-hander. Look, there's been a change. Smith is out in front now, and Cornfoot's going to attack Zammit as well. Here we go. For the lead, Pruitt's in deep, really deep, too deep. Oh my goodness, so Smith, they're both off the road. Oh, so Zammit, can you believe it? Cornfoot's taken the lead. They've all gone off in front of him. Cornfoot is leading the race, 4th to 1st in a bend. What on earth have we just witnessed down there at the turn 5 hairpin? Oh, can you believe it? Cornfoot, in just his 2nd ever race, is now at the head of the field. He's ahead of Zammit, he's ahead of Smith, and he's ahead of Pruitt's as well. Wow. Incredible scenes here at Mallala. They've saved the best till last, haven't they? This 10 lap has turned into a true classic, and that's why the crowd have stuck around. They were hoping for a good one, and they have not been disappointed with what they've seen. Here we are then, a replay. Yet Pruitt's in too deep, Smith in even deeper still. Zammit tried to come back up the inside of Cornfoot, who was attacking him, and he drops off the road as well. All the experienced campaigners drop off the road, and Cornfoot, the relative rookie in comparison, has taken the lead. Look at this for the cutback. He saw Zammit in too deep, and all of his Christmases come at once. 4th to the race lead. Wow. So now, can he hold them off, or will he crack under pressure? With 2.5 laps to go in the BDK earth-moving truck. Can't speak highly enough of the job that he is doing here this weekend. Dale Cornfoot from New South Wales in his Kenworth T909. Immaculately presented machine. Certainly up there as one of the best presented, if not the best presented here this weekend at Mallala Motorsport Park. Got to thank SAF Holland Group for jumping on board as a sponsor. Oh, another mistake. That's 2 in a row for Smith. That's a shame. I can't see. Boy, is it dusty down there. Smith will be lucky now to hold off Pruitt's, the truck's behind anyway. not too far behind him on the road. Just a couple of laps to go now. The good news is, despite the huge off-track excursions we've seen, no real damage for these trucks. Fix My Truck being a sponsor, but might not be needed actually. We've got a race relatively scot-free. Amoroso's had a quiet one, hasn't he, in 5th position, or now 4th position after the off-track excursion from Smith. I can see that on timing as they have come on through, so Amoroso now up to 4th position, Smith down to 5th with that unforced error at the end of this long straight last lap by. Well, Cornfoot, it was said by Zammit, wasn't it, in the interview that we saw earlier on. Zammit said that he's very impressed by Cornfoot, the way he's come in and certainly got the speed. And he's now out there leading the way. And look at the margin he's built up. This is such a great performance. Maybe Zammit's got a couple of issues. I don't think he's running quite as fast as we saw earlier on in the weekend. But nevertheless, oh, Ty Oxley. Oh, he's putting on a show for everybody. There's some drifting action out there this weekend, and he's decided he wants to go drifting in his truck. Well, we saw him running slowly earlier. Clearly the issues have been resolved, and he's back circulating around once again, which is good to see at proper racing pace. But he's generally been a co-driver in recent years. Great to see him stepping up as a main driver in the lightweight division in season 2025 as the race leader commences the final lap of the race. Look at the margin he has got now. That is a good 5 or 6 seconds out in front. He can cruise to victory from here. What a start to the season it's been, though. There's been drama at almost every single turn, hasn't there? Particularly in this final race. Look, further back, fight is on for 3rd, just as we thought it was all done and dusted. Not quite. And Smith's coming back as well. Amoroso trying the long way. They'll actually be looking for the cutback, I think, but Utes is expecting that, and he forces Amoroso to go the long way. Amoroso gets a little bit squirrely on the curb, trying to get the power down as quickly as he can. Of course, for Utes, that slightly smaller engine in his machine does leave him vulnerable on the back straight. There's one of the lightweight trucks there off the circuit. Couldn't quite see who that was. I think it might be Lachlan Fern actually in the Isuzu. So that's a shame if that is the case. But yeah, it looks like we've got away with it otherwise as they come through the final couple of corners. Out in front and about to take his first race victory in the Australian Truck Series. It is Dale Cornfoot. What a magnificent performance from him. Brilliant, brilliant job. Here we go though, further back. 31. He's going to have to defend here across the line. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Pruitt holds on by less than a truck length in the end from Amoroso and Smith in a great battle for position number 4. Cornfoot takes it in the end, big margin ahead of Zammit. Frank Amoroso in 3rd, Shannon Smith in 4th, Marcus Pruitt, Mark Noonan, Robert Fern, and then first of the lightweight trucks, Lachlan Fern taking the honours in that one. Great result from him.
Yeah, 10 laps was good. We kept the brakes as cool as we could, the temperature of the motor down as much as we could when we got some clean air. Few incidents, but yeah, the truck went really well.
Yeah, no, we've had a very solid weekend at Mallala. It's great to be back after 16 years. We left this place as a round winner. 16 years later, we come back and we won another round. So, had a fantastic weekend. The whole team's worked their ass off all weekend to keep the truck going. We've had brake issues all weekend. We've got a broken front caliper that it was holding but not doing the right job, but we got there in the end. You know, we come home with a good solid finish for the weekend.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. We'll see you at Winton.
Yeah, look forward to it. Thank you.
Here are the points then after round 1 of the Australian Super Truck Series. Zammit from Amoroso and Smith, but look, it's tight at the top, isn't it? Robert Fern in 3rd ahead of Mark Noonan. This is the results from yesterday's co-driver championship points, and it's Harvey Dale that leads the way from Lachlan Fern and Brett Dalgleish in third position. Well, that was a brilliant way to start off the 2025 Australian Super Truck Series. Sadly, the 231 machine of Lachlan Prillwitz comes back into the lane on the tow truck. The Australian Super Truck Racing Series is brought to you by Fix My Truck, Hi-Tec Oils, SAF Holland and Big Wheels. Next round, Red 2 will be at Winton Motor Raceway from July 25 to 27. We hope to see you then for more Australian Super Truck action.